On July 9, 1401, Timur, a prominent warlord and conqueror from Central Asia, launched his campaign against the Jalairid Sultanate, asserting his dominance in the region. Timur, upon reaching the vicinity of Baghdad, surveyed the city, keenly aware of the strategic importance it held in the region. The Jalairid Sultan, aware of the looming threat, summoned his advisors to strategize a defense, hoping to defend his realm against Timur's formidable forces. Timur's army, known for its disciplined and fierce fighters, prepared for the assault, united under a single banner and fueled by their leader's vision. As night fell, Timur boldly decided to launch a surprise attack under the cover of darkness, aiming to catch the Jalairid forces off guard. Meanwhile, the citizens of Baghdad remained unaware of the impending doom, going about their evening routines, blissfully ignorant of the danger approaching. As Timur's forces approached the city walls, they prepared their siege engines, ready to breach the defenses that protected Baghdad. At dawn, the first wave of Timur's assault began, with catapults hurling stones at the city walls, shaking the battlefield with every impact. The Jalairid Sultan, realizing the severity of the attack, rallied his defenders, calling for the city's warriors to protect their homeland from destruction. As the walls began to crumble under the relentless assault, the citizens of Baghdad took to the streets in panic, fearing for their lives. As Timur's forces moved closer, he addressed his soldiers, instilling courage and determination. The sun began to rise, casting a golden light over the battlefield. The Jalairid Sultan, hearing the distant sounds of war drums, gathered his men in the royal chamber, escalating the urgency of their defenses. Realizing the imminent threat, the Baghdadi citizen rushed to gather her family, urging them to find shelter away from the impending chaos outside. As the sun fully rose, Timur ordered his siege engines to be put into action, launching projectiles that smashed against the ancient walls of Baghdad. The Jalairid Sultan, realizing the walls were failing, tasked his most trusted general with organizing a counterattack, hoping to rally what forces remained. Timur's soldiers, emboldened by their leader's strength, surged forward as the first breach in the wall was created, spilling into the city. Inside the city, citizens were torn between fleeing and helping their defenders, creating tension as chaos enveloped Baghdad. The defenders engaged in fierce combat with Timur's forces, fighting tooth and nail to protect their homeland, but the odds were heavily against them. As the battle raged on, Timur observed the unfolding chaos, calculating his next moves with the precision of a chess master. The Jalairid Sultan, witnessing the resilience of his people, inspired them to keep fighting, refusing to yield the ground easily. With renewed vigor, the Jalairid defenders unleashed a counteroffensive, fighting fiercely to regain control over the streets of Baghdad. Timur's forces, encouraged by their successful breaches, launched a relentless assault deeper into the city, aiming for the palace itself. Amid the chaos, the citizens struggled to find safety, lamenting the loss of their tranquil lives as the city descended into turmoil. The Jalairid Sultan, refusing to surrender, declared to his people that they would never bow to Timur, igniting a passion within the ranks. Timur's troops, fueled by their leader's ambition, began systematically dismantling the defenses of Baghdad, street by street. Realizing his forces were being overwhelmed, the Jalairid Sultan ordered a strategic retreat to regroup and protect the royal family. As the city fell further into chaos, Timur's forces began to set flames to parts of Baghdad, marking their dominance over the city. The defenses of Baghdad began to break, and amidst the flames, the spirit of the city struggled to hold on to its identity in the face of devastation. Inside the heart of the city, the Jalairid Sultan and his inner circle devised one last desperate plan to defy Timur's encroaching forces. The citizens of Baghdad, inspired by their leader's courage, rallied together to stand against the intruders, unleashing a fierce protest against violence. In a moment of fierce determination, Timur encouraged his soldiers, reminding them of their purpose to claim Baghdad. His words filled the troops with fervor, and they prepared to push forward relentlessly into the heart of the city. The Jalairid Sultan, observing the chaos from a strategic vantage point, felt the weight of his kingship heavily as he surveyed his crumbling defenses. With steely resolve, he steered his troops to launch a coordinated strike against Timur's advancing forces. Timur's forces, emboldened by their momentum, began to break through the inner defenses, clashing with the Sultan's soldiers in intense hand-to-hand combat. The fight became a struggle for survival as both sides fought fiercely. Amidst the ferocity of battle, citizens of Baghdad, once complacent, quickly diversified into roles as defenders, wielding whatever makeshift weapons they could find in a desperate attempt to protect their homes. As the battle raged on, the Sultan's attempts to unite the factions within his forces brought mixed results. Some rallied to defend their home fiercely, while others grew anxious under the threat of imminent defeat. At a pivotal moment, Timur's soldiers gained the upper hand, utilizing superior tactics learned from past battles. The Jalairid defenses began to falter, leading to a critical breach in the inner sanctum of the city. The Sultan, realizing the precariousness of his situation, began forming a strategic retreat, aiming to preserve what remained of his leadership and family as the full might of Timur's army surged forward. As desperation gripped the Sultan's troops, they unleashed a series of desperate nighttime skirmishes, trying to regain some lost ground amidst the shattered remnants of the city. The tension escalated as both sides prepared for a catastrophic final confrontation. Timur's forces pressed harder, sensing victory, while Jalairid's troops, emboldened by their leadership, ready to make a last stand. As the final battle commenced, a cacophony of war cries and clashing metal enveloped Baghdad, drowning out the city's once vibrant life in an overwhelming frenzy of chaos and bloodshed. As the dust settled from the final onslaught, Timur's forces succeeded in overtaking the city, marking a devastating moment in Baghdad's history that would leave the populace divided and traumatized. Following the siege, Timur gave orders to plunder the city, further deepening the pain of its citizens. The once grand streets of Baghdad now echoed with the cries of despair amidst the ashes of their homes. Amidst the ruins, the Baghdadi citizens faced the grim reality of their situation as they began to sift through the debris, searching for anything of value or memories left. In the aftermath of the attacks, the educational and cultural centers of Baghdad suffered, as libraries filled with knowledge and artistry were lost to the flames, leading to a cultural dark age. Timur, surveying the destruction, took note of the city's potential. He ordered the surviving citizens to remain as laborers to help rebuild and serve in his newly claimed territory. Realizing the devastation of Baghdad had far-reaching implications, Timur saw the potential to consolidate power and expand his empire, utilizing the city's strategic position. Despite the tragedies, the heart of Baghdad's culture and resilience began to emerge, with citizens vowing to rebuild their city as a testament to their enduring spirit. As the dust settled and peace returned, Timur's victory would reshape the region's political landscape, leading to the decline of the Jalairid Sultanate and solidifying his legacy as a formidable ruler.